We're going to stop it on day one. We're going to get rid of Obamacare.
I'm not getting rid of all of health care reform. Of course, there are a number of things that I like in health care reform that I'm going to put in place. One is to make sure that those with pre-existing conditions can get coverage.
You know, that's what we do on these kind of shows. Here we show the competing sound bites and if there's daylight. And I think from that sample, there is quite a bit. All right, the debate there on the merits of health care reform. Mitt Romney opposing Obamacare very clearly in the primaries and even very clearly at the convention. But he also is supporting elements of Obamacare, which, as Mark will say, is not wholly inconsistent. But when you're talking about sound bites, when somebody says he wants to repeal it, he also wants to keep some of it. It adds to the whole narrative of he'll say what he's got to say to try and get elected. Well, on Meet the Press Sunday, a statement that had Romney staffers so worried they even issued a statement to clarify what their candidate said immediately after the program. The campaign telling the conservative National Review that what Romney meant to say was, quote, in a competitive environment, the marketplace will make available plans that include coverage for what there is demand for. He, Romney, was not proposing a federal mandate to require insurance plans to offer those particular features. So Romney likes coverage for people with pre-existing conditions, but his plan will not guarantee said coverage. He is hoping the market will. Well, people are confused, and as you know in TV, I've already gone more than 2 minutes, more than most people would do to even do a clarification on this. Now, Romney supporters, they appear to be confused as well by some of his statements, or maybe by the candidate himself. And if you expected clarity and a focus on policy from Paul Ryan, which I did when he was selected, we thought we were talking about, you know, the policies here. He laid out a vision. Whether you liked it or not, at least he had a plan. Well, Mr. Policy and Clarity guy didn't exactly do himself any favors, I believe, on Sunday. Here is Paul Ryan with George Stephanopoulos yesterday trying to explain how his plan will cut the deficit while lowering taxes and increase defense spending. See if you can find the specificity, easy for me to say yourself.
The best way to do this is to show the framework, show the outlines of these plans, and then to work with Congress to do this. That's how you get things done. The other thing,
Isn't
George,
that a secret plan?
We don't want to. No. What we don't want is a secret plan.
And why not specify the loopholes now? Why not say right now?
Because we want to do this. We want to have this, George, because we want to have this debate in the public.
Okay. Now, forget Republican, Democrat. Why would you do this if you're the campaign? Mark, tell me any logical reason why you know you're going to go on a Sunday show. You know they're going to be talking about your plan. You can find one loophole. For crying out loud. The Republicans, the conservatives aren't going to vote for Obama. Pick a loophole and say you're going to close it. Why would he go on Sunday TV and not offer one tangible solution, Mr. Policy Guy?
You know, this gets to your earlier question about what's the drag on Romney. In my view, it's get the problem clear and have people agree. That's the problem. That's the national crisis we need to solve. Let's get around that. I don't think he's really defined that well. So if you talk about health care, what is the problem and what's this overarching solution, umbrella solution, and then you can talk about portability, pre-existing conditions in the framework of a market-based solution. And I know that's where his head is.
Ryan, love him or hate him, he's never been shy about articulating with specifics what he would do. We've had a lot of debates about his vision. He's clearly being muzzled by the campaign to not live one specific example.
They've never given you the specifics of their economic deficit reduction plan.
Paul Ryan's plan identified areas in the social safety net that would be cut here. So he has been, let's be fair to him, you may not agree with it, Richard, but he has said programs that he would cut.
I want to see the president's plan.
Ryan's lost his religion since he joined the ticket, and the reason is because Romney has a bigger problem with his base. This is the hangover from the primary. He doesn't have his base united behind him. He's afraid to specify a plan that's going to alienate part of his base.
Dominic, be half pregnant. You can't say, hey, we need radical changes here, and you gotta, and this is how you're gonna do it.
Dominic, you couldn't be half pregnant. It turns out we've got news on this show. We've got news.
You can strike him at any moment. But yeah, no, my point is, you can't be on one end, you can't say we need radical changes and then say, well, don't ask me for answers, wait till after the election. It's got to be one or the other.
Therein lies the problem for the Romney campaign. But in fairness to Mr. Ryan, he is number 2 on the ticket, Richard. He can't come out.
His plan.
Yeah, but
do you remember that day in Virginia?
But listen,
it was the Ryan budget.
But because you think it's right, that don't make it so. Look, he can't come out and say what. Let me just finish this. He just can't come out and say what he wants to say. He has to be disciplined.
This is all explainable if your theory of the campaign is it's enough to say Obama is bad.
Right.
And that's been the theory of the campaign. And if you want to look forward, they have 2 choices. They can maintain this and go down the tubes big time, or they can finally decide to share a competing vision of what should be the future, in which case they'll lose by less.
Or there's a different way to frame it, is there's one side who has no plan and another side who's putting out there a plan but is not willing to put all the details out there because they know people like you will crush them on it.
It's
so
a double
I know what you said, by the way.
Thank
I
you
can
for
tell
the
you for a
compliment.
fact what Mark said is exactly what people at the campaign have been saying behind the scenes. The Romney folks are petrified of giving details because of dissection. However, it's nobody at the end of the day say, well, he didn't lose by that much. Either you lost or not. There are a lot of people within the GOP who feel that Romney is running a Gerald Ford, Bob Dole, John McCain kind of campaign where you won't remember at the end of the day where the real distinction was. Doesn't he have to let Ryan go? Take him off the chain and say, go ahead, say whatever you're going to say. Because he's not going to win this way, I don't think.
They can't stand the scrutiny.
We can get in the details of the solution. I don't
How
even
about the
think we have.
strategy?
I think we need the details of the problem that we have to solve.
The
and talk.
The clock's against you, though.
I'm telling you, if you don't
You
have,
think in the
if
debates,
if you
in the
don't have
3
a
debates, you
consensus
think
on the
Romney's
problem,
going to
if
own
Americans
Obama?
don't think that we're in a crisis and we need leadership to solve that crisis, then it
But
definitely
I think,
is.
But I think the
Obama's.
one point that you guys said that I think we have a better idea of, and disagree with me, Andrew, is the idea that, hey, the alternative is the alternative. It doesn't matter what it is. I think the public wants to know what that alternative is. And I think we're starting to learn that in the last couple of weeks. And it's not just enough to say Obama's a bad guy.
And I agree. And just note that this has all been a talk about the economy. They also lost ground with women on this aching, legitimate rape business. They've lost ground on foreign policy. Obama got rid of bin Laden. They have one message. Obama, as Bill Clinton said, he inherited a mess. He didn't clean it up fast enough. Fire him and bring us back.
And it may work.
It's
and
not
it may work.
Well, we're going to talk about
work.
the calendar, and Andrew's going to break down what the last 57 days have left in store for us after this break here. When we come back, not only what the 57 days are going to look like here, but what each campaign's got to do to either keep their jobs here or to redecorate the Oval Office. We're going to tell you about that after this.